working on stove wood all day. But anyway, we're talking about Shakespeare today. To be or to clobber zombies is what Shakespeare would have had to do. In the year 1599, a big bright object passed through the sky, probably some sort of a comet, and it passed over England. Pretty sure it was England. Again, I'm very tired. I had a long day, so I might get some of my facts wrong. But I just saw a little documentary on it. I was like, this is too cool. And anyway, it went by, and a part of the area where it went over, people started acting extremely strange. Meanwhile, in one of the, it was like a theater that housed like 3,000 people. Shakespeare had a play going, and these people started moving towards the town, and what they figured, it actually infected them with a kind of strain of pneumonic plague. Yeah, I can't even make this stuff up. I mean, I'm creative, but I can't make that up. So, and if they did make this up, I was like, this is brilliant. Make a movie, or maybe a play. So anyway, these people start, they're, basically it affects their brains. They can't function. They're drooling. All of a sudden they have a thirst for brains, and they're getting kind of munchies, stuff like that. And, they didn't have, it's a good thing they didn't have tomahawks, or they would have, zombies with tomahawks is a very serious thing. They start coming into the theater. And with Shakespeare's The Show Must Go On, well, of course, guess what happens? They keep playing the show, okay? And I can't remember the actual show, but one of his, things, and they start slaughtering these people. Yeah, these zombies, they start slaughtering. There was like torsos and people still like that, and they're still alive. And I guess, and after that they said, well, the only way to kill them is remove the head. So they're like piling up these bodies backstage, and I guess a few of them might have went on stage or whatever, as the play's going. And then at the end of the night, of course, it's all over. And then, apparently Shakespeare was quite distraught after this. Can't imagine why. Zombie apocalypse in the it's like, what's it, year 1599, it's like, geez, 16th century, what's the world coming to, what I mean? So anyway, yeah, so whether this is true, I've only found one article, or one little video on it, and I was like, that's awesome, it's like, but if you didn't know what a zombie was, but, think about it this way, with all the end times prophecy and stuff going on now, it's just ridiculous how accurate everything is, and how much of it, especially in the past 2 years, that is just like, yes, this is this, there's no doubt about it. Now, mind you, I don't know how many times in history people have looked at the Bible and said, yes, this is it. I think the Bible's more of just kind of alluding to human nature and how we keep repeating ourselves and doing stuff. But there are some stuff, especially with the, Peter the Roman has arrived, and he's supposed to make way. The new Pope is, yes, Peter the Roman. You can see my previous video on it. But here's the irony again of this story, which I mentioned in my previous video about Pope Francis of Assisi, Peter the Roman. I just can't pronounce names tonight. It's Bernardin. Yeah, whatever. But anyway, so Peter the Roman. Okay. Now, what's going to happen at the end of 2013? Comet is coming by midsummer, and it's supposed to go by. Could this be the same comet, or a comet like it, carrying some sort of virus that will sprinkle over the earth, and then, zombies? Just saying. Because the Department of Homeland Security last year started doing and FEMA, actually, sorry, not Department of Homeland Security, FEMA, did a scenario of zombie attacks, like, some sort of zombie virus. Right around the time where the guy went nuts and started chewing the other guy's face off, who apparently they said it was a bad thing, a weeb, and then they blamed it on some Scooby snacks known as bath salts, and then they said he had neither. And the cop shot him 5 times, and he didn't die. Just saying. So, zombie apocalypse, yeah, can't wait. Go smash some zombies. Whew, yeah, it's gonna be fun. Yeah, so is this what Shakespeare, who after that drew, became very dark in his playwrights, and and was fascinated by death after that, and like the living dead and stuff like that. that probably had something to do with it. If this incident happened, which I would love if somebody can confirm that that happened, because I mean, it would have been very traumatic for those poor people. But produced brilliant writer, if you like Shakespeare, I guess. I never heard about this, and until I saw it, I don't know which channel it was. It probably would have been on like History Channel or something, or Discovery or something like that. Some sort of sci-fi channel would have probably carried it, and it was just a small thing that I saw on YouTube. So, but yeah. So with this new comet coming by, and I mean, it's not hard to see that if you look around the world, like the rage and anger of people. I mean, it's hard to say, but I mean, back in the 1980s, okay, in Miami, the crime rate in Miami was ridiculous, and they actually figured out that it was because of all the leaded gasoline and the smog. It's metals poisoning is what it is. And I mean, you go to all these places like China and stuff where people are running after people with axes, and I mean, one guy killed 84 people with an axe, or he hit 84 people with an axe, killed probably about 30 of them in China this a couple of years ago. And then that other guy in the Philippines went nuts and ran up and down the street, stabbed 32 people. He barely makes the news. I mean, yes, the day of Sandy Hook, the guy in China ran and stabbed 23 kids. Fortunately, they live, but most of the time, even though the news will not cover it, I've been researching this stuff for an awful long time. Yes, people die at the hand of these kind of weapons. Axe murders and knife murders. Like the guy in Japan who ran 7 people over and then jumped out and stabbed another 17, and yes, he killed them. That happened. But could that be a part of industrial poisoning of metals in the air? And think about that, with all the chemtrails, rhenium, strontium, aluminium, probably, all kinds of stuff that creates mental problems, Alzheimer's and stuff like that. But maybe it triggers rage time, I'm going to go chew some brains, So I guess, yeah, so this is pretty crazy times we're living in. Could that be why they're trying to speed up the end times prophecies? Because of this comet coming by, and maybe they figured out this was probably the comet that went by that time, and people went into zombie mode. And picture the mass scale now of zombies. I mean, I know for a zombie apocalypse, some people would probably want to get a good rifle and a shotgun. Me, really good thick bite-proof body armor, hatchets and swords. I mean, I'm going, brawl style. I mean, that'd be fun. There's 20,000 zombies. Bring it. You know what I mean? I mean, okay, here's a question for you, I guess, because might as well pose a question. Zombie apocalypse. You get one handheld weapon, any firearm you want, one type, and last time I did blunt force, like a baseball bat or something like that. So one type of firearm, and only one type of firearm, one type of either medieval weapon or whatever, or knife or whatever, any sort of a handheld bashing weapon. I mean, you can even pick a can of beans if you want, or some sort of a big military grade weapon, such as maybe an F-22 Raptor, or an M109 Paladin, or possibly a Gepard or something like that. That'd be cool. Or a Leopard tank. You could use a MiG-21 if you wanted, or an Su-27, or possibly a T-72, or an amphib, or a sound cannon that make your head explodes. You could use the Air Force One with the laser thing on it. I don't know if that thing must be still around. You could use rockets. You can use bazookas. You could use anything. So you get one firearm, one. Pick your military hardware. You can use a battleship, and you can put wheels on it so it can go on land and get the zombies. Anything you want. What would it be? So you get three choices there. Handheld weapon, firearm of choice, and if you could build it or own it, what would it be to go smacking zombies? To be? I don't think so. You're not to be. Ha ha. Off with his head. Yeah. A Midsummer Night's Dream. Yeah. Romeo and Juliet? Over the cliff you go. Ha ha ha. Well, the show's got to go on, right? Okay, got my tomahawk. I'm very tired because I've been working on stove wood all day. But anyway, we're talking about Shakespeare today. To be or to clobber zombies is what Shakespeare would have had to do. In the year 1599, a big bright object passed through the sky, probably some sort of a comet. and it passed over England. Pretty sure it was England. Again, I'm very tired. I had a long day, so I might get some of my facts wrong. But I just saw a little documentary on it. I was like, this is too cool. And anyway, it went by, and a part of the area where it went over, people started acting extremely strange. Meanwhile, in one of the, it was like a theater that housed like 3,000 people. Shakespeare had a play going, and these people started moving towards the town, and what they figured, it actually infected them with a kind of strain of pneumonic plague. Yeah, I can't even make this stuff up. I mean, I'm creative, but I can't make that up. So, and if they did make this up, I was like, this is brilliant. Make a movie, or maybe a play. So anyway, these people start, they're, basically it affects their brains. They can't function. They're drooling. All of a sudden they have a thirst for brains, and they're getting kind of munchies, stuff like that. And, they didn't have, it's a good thing they didn't have tomahawks, or they would have, zombies with tomahawks is a very serious thing. They start coming into the theater.